So you heard what just happened there. That's a perp. I don't know if it's some teenager or some young adult. Ugh, some Chinese. Sorry. Um, some nasty. Ugh. They're so retarded. This is. I'm telling you, these people are. They're playing a game where they don't understand that I see them for the low life they are. Here, this is what.
Oh shit! What the fuck you doing?
I have no shame. I call them for the bottom feeders that they are. This trash was trying to interrupt what I was saying. And in my brain now they're like, how old is she? I don't give a damn. I wish I could tell you. She looked like a dirty, teenage, young adult looking person. Ugh. Nasty. And they're forcing me to now have perception of this person is sexual. This is the game they play. Unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of that. But I will not let these people live the fantasy. The reason why she was trying to interrupt me is because I'm able to see things for what they are. They're using work, like I said. For example, what you just heard in the first part. I'm working in this environment where it's hard for me to function. I do my best, but I understand the confusion and the what's happening to my brain. This what you just heard. This is they do this different fashion. Usually it's not that openly. Usually it's a lot of psychological manipulation, meaning using the V2K and synthetic telepathy. Others just a nose campaign. They might slam the door. I think this person was just kind of desperate at this point. Because I'm seeing things for what they are, and what I've said have been said before. An example of today, in regard how to use gaslighting, even in your employment, to make you accepting of this manipulation. For example, right now the manipulation is, they try to force me to perceive this person in a sexual way. I have no interest in her. But they can easily do that because this is somebody who's either a young adult, a teenager or like a young adult. It goes either ways, either like a, and she looked like a little skinny, I detest the fact that they can create this thought process in my brain, but the truth is they can do that to an obvious child. So somebody like that is not as hard as they would do. But trust me, what you heard there is not somebody who can look at this. It's not somebody who's interested in anything. If anything, I'm interested to insult the shit out of her. Insult, meaning curse her out, not do anything to her. But my brain's gonna go wherever it's gonna go. You can see that what I responded, the way I responded to this person is not somebody. But it's okay. You heard me. I will be vocal when the opportunity presents himself. I will be vocal. With that being said, I will not identify with this manipulation, and the gaslighting consists of what I just said in the first part, where, for example, I'm a shoe salesman. I sell shoes. I say this shoe's selling great because we're seeing high sales for high profits for this month, and then bombarded with work, and then the next thing is we're just looking at a report that is quarter over quarter. That report still showed that shoes great because these shoes sold the best for the lowest cost. Now, in the midst of being bombarded with so much stuff, I don't have the brain capacity to focus on the monthly performance, and just with that being said, things are just harder for me to catch. This is what, as a target manager, you function under some very, very hard circumstances. So you got to do your best with what you got. You understand reality. That's the reality. And I've dealt with a lot. And my coworkers, I deal with coworkers of all sorts. Some people just want to drain the energy out of you. Some people who want to just do all kind of things to you, but just disorient you. For me, as you can see how my response is here, is I see them in one fashion. I see them in one fucking fashion. I don't care how you can manipulate my brain. But I know who I am. And you're gonna make the mistake to think that the manipulations are being identified because what you're gonna hear. Now, this shoe is no longer performing as well as it used to. There's a decrease in that performance. Me bombarded with some other stuff, I don't recognize that immediately. And then because people are in this program, their purpose is to make me accepting of it. So everything is orchestrated. They utilize whatever they can to gaslight you, to put doubt in things. But for me, they take whatever they can to create doubtfulness, to create all kind of doubtfulness. So, Jesus. So, that doubtfulness, they're going to use whatever they can that can bring that up. So when they realize you didn't recognize that shoe wasn't selling well, but you've been talking about that shoe that was selling well, but now it's not selling well. And matter of fact, you say this thing in while you have the mix of working on you're like, okay, right now that's the trend, but when we see the trend change, we'll change the trend too. We'll change our tactics too. But in the meantime, let's take opportunity of that. You try to function the best you can in your field, under the circumstances, understanding that things are not going to be easy. Right? These perps use that to try to gaslight you. I know it's a tactic. I think that at that point it's going to fail. But they're going to use that, and then also, there's other things, factors, and they can influence your thought process. So, somebody calls that out, like, out of nowhere. And I'm like, I'm not even called that out here. And it's like, oh, no, I just, we used to bring that up, but, now it's like, oh, okay. Well, this is a good call out, but I'm like, I realized, oh, okay, most likely this was being just kind of waited for, right? They were looking for what they can use. I was like, okay. And I was confused, like, oh, no, the last time I saw it was doing good. Oh, it's doing good. It's not doing good like this. It's like, okay, for me, I'm like, oh, I realized I have not looked into this because I've been focusing on the quarter instead of the monthly. I was like, okay. And I'm putting things together. So, okay, under the circumstances I'm in, right? And understanding that these perps are also perps. And so I remember other things. I'm looking through everything. It's like, oh, but there's a few things that was happening before that they were making fun of that was true. So I'm looking at it. My brain confused as hell because they can also confuse my brain. Fatigue. They love to utilize fatigue in the best way. I'm bombarded with things, right? I don't have time to just like review things in specific ways, but I'm looking at numbers, and in my mind I think, oh, this is supposed to be there, but my mind is confused because they can confuse my brain, right? So they use everything possible, and so you find yourself in the confusion. But when you take time and you like filter everything through, you start seeing things. Okay, this is that and that and that. You analyze things properly the way you could. But then you already have like thoughts that this was this and that, and it's part of the confusion. Oh, they used that, like, you see, you thought those things were going there, but they were supposed to be there. This and that and this. So we mapped it. I'm like, trash. This boat is gone. This fantasized reality is gone. Matter of fact, today what they're doing is just validating me. That they gaslighting me, use this fashion to of employment. Oh, you thought this was that? Like, it's gone. The validation that these people are rewind the thought process in this pedophilia centric, it completely is magically and unbelievable magic. It's just so surreal. It's so surreal. The shoe sale of this, or me thinking the shoe of this set is done. It's not gonna make me think, oh, you're right. All along, I thought the shoe sale was performing well. That means the thought process are now being manipulated. That is how low life these bottom fears are. And they tell me you bomb now. I was like, I involved. These people employ me for the sole purpose to destroy my career. But the truth is, it was already that. They wanted to not only destroy my career, but they wanted to make it look like the original people who actually destroyed my career for real. Because once you put in this program, really, they just destroy you. Your employment, they just, everything, they destroy you. So these people doing the acts are just like the bottom, like they're just the bottom feeders in this. It was that long time ago. They were trying to create a facade. But magically enough, things are happening in magical ways. In magical ways. They hate that. Because it's ending, for me, as expected, of course, was planned that from day one. But things are not looking good for certain people whose life is not ending. Who hopefully life continues for a long time. Hopefully. So I'm like, all of these theatricals and things like that, you think I'm going at this point accept this manipulation? When you do the same things? Target individual is a cognitive warfare. Now, because the shoe sale is no longer selling as expected or as I thought it was going to expect it. They want me to accept, and then somebody comes and no, we're mad, that's your brain. And then it's like, no, that's abuse. Try to go back to me as a child, as a like, you understand? It takes very, 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 very little to become a genius in these circumstances. And the genius is not about like doing predictive of sales. The genius is reality. If you can stay tuned with the reality, you are a genius. You hear the nose campaign, all of that is to disorient me. You understand? If you understand that the systematic tactics of this, all around you, you heard a person knocking on the door, all of that is to try to confuse you. Because the reality is, this person knocking on the door, she's involved in something that tortured children. She looked like she's a female of some sort. I don't know if she's a young adult or a teenager. It's one of those people you don't know. So on top of that, she's like a little Asian. Sorry, I'm not here to insult her. I think the reason why I want to insult her is because she was doing these things to me, and it's just in my brain I try to come back. Stupidity, man. It's dumbest. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with like the psychological manipulation too. So you have these people, and I'm so glad you heard me say what I said, because I truly detest this shit. I truly detest them, and they understand. And I will not miss an opportunity to insult them for the shit that they are. Target individual. For me, they try to present themselves as this fierce femme fatale, like feminism, thinking the gender changed reality. No, I'll never do that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to call you out the shit that you are. Oh, and they really are forcing me stimulation. I wish I should have filmed. It's okay. It's okay. But they really want you to accept the facade, the psyop, and the gaslighting. They even use anything that even has to... Listen, under the circumstances I'm in, as a target individual, I have accepted that I will never be able to function 100%. I'm doing my best with the brain that is being destroyed, with my body that's being destroyed. I know that things are bad, right? Under the circumstances I'm in, I'm working in a state of critical state. I've accepted that, and I'm going to do my part to the end. I want them to see this guy, man. Even if he's dying and still trying to work it, because I know that I'll have to do my part. Like I said, everything they do to us, target individual, will be reimbursed one way or another. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will come. They can play dumb. They can ignore reality. Reality is going to be knocking on the door like this shit was knocking on my door. They can block it out. I'll put it in their face. I don't care what happens to them. I'm not even happy if what happens to them. There's no joy coming from me knowing that this person is going through whatever. Nothing. It doesn't give me anything. Nothing. I'm just saying that's good that you are a good case study for this shit doing these things. They wanted to normalize what they're involved in. That's why I have to be strong to deal with whatever sufferings I get. These people like that who think life is just like that. I wish I could. Target individuals stay strong and see this low life what they are. Some bottom feeders. This target individuals stay strong. The gaslighting comes in all shape or form. You heard what just happened here in real time. It was to disorient me as I was able to put things and articulate things together. They want me to get lost in this fantasized reality. Right now, what's happening to my brain as a target individual? Manipulation, rewiring. They're trying to force me to perceive this person in a sexual way. They've done that to babies, to children, like children that you recognize their children. For me, the one pleasure I got out of this is to be able to insult her, like the way I see these bottom feeders as. Told my target individuals stay strong. And do not identify with the manipulations. Forget about the gaslighting tactic. They orchestrate things to gaslight you. They take things, I'm telling you, the shoe seller, I'm not in the shoe sales, but I'm telling you, that's the kind of things they can use. And it goes on because they can even influence you to think this way. And my brain, especially when you're tired, if you don't have the energy to like, okay, this is a false thought, you're forcing me to think this way, so that then I realize it's fake, and then you don't have that energy anymore. So you just go with it. They do this thing systematically. This video is one of many. Maybe that's why they're making those campaigns. They're tired to hear the same things different months. Target individuals stay strong.